Okay, how's everyone doing today? My name is Eric Peters. I'm the division president for the professional services group at BGSF. And I have the astute honor today to talk to a friend of mine, Demetrius Short. And the timing is interesting as we go here into February into Black History Month. We have the opportunity to partner with Demetrius and a lot of the activities that he does in the greater Tennessee area. And we met through a mutual friend of ours that we'll talk here a little bit today. But Demetrius, welcome to this, and I appreciate you making the time to chat with us here today.
Well, thank you so very much, Eric. We're excited about the opportunity and appreciate all that you all do and want to engage in this conversation to hope inspire some people today.
I know you will, man, because I've heard you speak many times, and I think everyone's in for a real good treat today. So with that, for the people we have viewing today, Demetrius, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background?
Yes, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Big Red Machine, all those great Cincinnati Bengals. We can brag on them a little bit now. But a big family, 5 brothers, a sister, Alan and Betty Short, great parents. And I was always an overachiever. I started wearing suits in the 5th grade. I just always felt there was something professional about me, a pathway to be successful in what I thought then to be a little businessman like my dad. And so I started wearing those suits in 5th grade, trying to look the part. Played baseball, basketball, football, 3-sport, scholar, athlete at Mount Healthy High School. I was voted Mr. Mount Healthy, the highest award a student can achieve at school, which culminated, athleticism, community service, just being that role model in school. And then I graduated high school, came down to Fisk University, got into computer science and business, always thought tech would be a pathway for me. So computer science was going to be my thing, get into tech, did some internships with some amazing organizations in my young career, going into college, graduated, and today I boast a 30-year IT career in quality assurance testing. And I'm a father of a beautiful daughter, Amaya Nicole, who's a freshman at Nashville State. And this year I will celebrate 24 years of marriage to my beautiful wife, Vanessa. And I love, and I'm an avid runner. I'm that crazy guy running those 26-mile marathons, those 5Ks. So I enjoy just being able to run and travel over the world and run 5K, 10Ks, and half marathons.
Wow, what a story! What a story! You mentioned your background in IT. We're going to get to talking here in a few minutes about the Transformation Life Center, but that's how indirectly we got connected with you, because BGSF, we specialize a lot in the IT sector. And you mentioned your technical career you had. Could you tell some of the people that are listening today a little bit about some of the struggles you encountered when you were trying to get your undergraduate degree? Because I think that's an inspiring story to start off with today.
Yes, again, my goal was to attend college on an athletic scholarship. And that was my parents and I sitting down. Of course, I was brains and athleticism. So what better thing to do to go on a free ride to a D1, D2, D3, or whatever D. Mom and dad just didn't want to pay for school, and neither did I. And so my pathway to success took a big turn when I didn't get that scholarship. I went from a 3.6 GPA and came down to Fisk University after not getting that scholarship. And Fisk University, a HBCU, Historically Black College and University, didn't know much about it, but got here and my eyes were just open to just a plethora of Black leaders, Du Bois and John Lewis, and some amazing talent that I'm going, how did I not know about this? But here I am at Fisk with no scholarship. And I'm going, I'll just come for a semester, then I'll transfer and get that scholarship paid for and be able to continue. But I found out firsthand what the traditional student does, or parent or household, by making significant sacrifices that puts kids through school, because college is just not cheap. And I learned firsthand that there's money. I chose to go to work sometimes versus going to class. I took calculus 2 or 3 times. I found myself on academic probation with a 1.8 GPA. And that's when all the struggles happened, because I started to realize the barriers that come up when we drop these students off. Of course, athletes, they get preferential treatment, right? We get all these perks. But my life was going through a different route that would place me in the seat that I'm in today to help students, because I had to learn first those barriers and those struggles, which was money, trying to pay for school, balancing campus life with adulting 101, and then the mental stress that comes with all of that coming together as a 16, 17, 18-year-old, trying to make mom and dad proud and trying to, not waste this opportunity. I went through some of my darkest days by being in that suit with those alligator skin shoes on, looking the part, but going through the darkest time of my life when I was almost basically homeless, sleeping on a friend's couch, in and out of school, not financially cleared, going to class every day, but the teacher taking my grades on the side saying, Demetrius, you're not registered, what's going on? And I hid all that, not telling my parents that I basically was at Fisk for a year and a half, not registered, and sleeping on couches in friends' rooms. And it took me, almost 6 years to graduate, in and out, but I succeeded. But I know that that struggle had purpose on it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that purpose, but that was where the struggle started, but also where my purpose in life began.
And that's some of the inspiration of this story that I know a lot of the people that are watching this today will get. When we sent this out, we obviously had the website of Transformation Life Center on there. So some people may have already looked at that website and looked a little bit into the organization. But can you talk about the inspiration that led you to develop this organization and some of the events that you put on? I'm assuming obviously your days in your undergrad played into some of that, but can you elaborate there, and how did you get the inspiration to develop this awesome organization that's doing so much in the greater Nashville area?
Yes, it took for me to finally get out of school and get my dream job, which was back in '96, to work for IBM. That was my big dream. I want to go work for Big Blue, right? And I got that job out of Fisk, and they shipped me to Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm newly married with this beautiful wife of mine, but I still have this trauma of what just happened. Why not 4 years, right? And get out and have all this joy, but why the struggle? And so I came back to school after. Now I'm making great money. I'm in my dream job, but I came back to Fisk University, and I came back and I wanted to walk that same route. I would walk from Fisk to my internships at HCA and Caterpillar Financial in the early '90s. And I now wanted to come back that first year after graduation, and I walked the same path, Eric, that I walked as a struggling student. And tears falling through and down my eyes and down my cheeks. I'm literally swinging at the air. I mean, I'm mad, and I'm going, God, why did I have to get it this way? Why did I have to struggle to find this success? And I'm walking through Hermosa, and this is not, we're not in the Gulch, right? This is not 2013.
Yeah.
This was Hermosa street gangs, pit bulls, dogs. I mean, this is early '90s, way before this boom of what Nashville experiencing. So you can imagine me in that briefcase, that suit, those $500 shoes, looking the part, but basically, going through the struggle. But now I've reached a level of success, and I'm walking it now with this IT and this big major company behind me. And it was on that walk that God spoke to me. He said, every step you took was a step towards your success. I didn't quit, Eric. I could have easily packed my bags, went back home, told my mom and dad, but I persevered through, and it was through those steps. It was through those walks and perseverance that the Steps of Success 5K was birthed. And it was then that I made a vow that I would help one student and give a little scholarship. And here we are 20 years later, and over 500 to almost 1,000 students impacted. it started on that walk and that epiphany that I have to do more to help students who may be going through the same thing I'm going through, be able to go through those barriers. So it was birthed on that walk in 1999, and I vowed to run and walk in a suit, 3.1 miles, raise thousands of dollars in scholarships to give back to students. So now my darkest days now become a platform of success through Transformation Life Center to help ignite, inspire, and transform students' lives.
That is so incredible. And I got to tell you, we'll probably show a few photos here. We are so proud to be a sponsor with you and a partner with you in the community. The Steps to Success 5K was the one that we recently did last year with you guys. And for those that look at your website, there's a picture of you in the suit. You're out there doing the run. You're starting it off with everyone. You're leading the pack. And to me, I've gotten a chance to know you fairly well now. That's you. You're that guy, and you're out there leading by example, and you're in the front of the pack, and you're showing people that this is what you can do with your life, and this is who you can be. And congratulations, kudos to you. Great organization. And again, we've sent out the link to the website for all who are watching this today to learn more, and very, very, very inspirational. I want to make sure that we do give some due time and credit to some of the other things that you're involved with the organization. Can you discuss the mission of the Pathway to Success initiative and what that is, and the Leadership Academy? Because I think that's very important for people to understand as they're looking through your website or just researching how they can get involved.
Yes, indeed, Eric. Our mission is to ignite purpose, inspire success, and transform the lives of African-American Black collegiate students and youth living in underserved communities through education, leadership, and health and wellness. It is a holistic approach to develop students who may be going through exactly the struggle and the anguish I went through holistically. You know, what good is it to have a 4.0 and doing well in the classroom, but you're depressed and fighting depression? What good is it for you to be able to run 26 miles with me, right? And not be able to get through college, not be able to adapt and be able to maintain knowledge and pass tests. So our thing is we want to help students find out what their purpose is earlier on in life. We want to provide the incubation place, the place in the proper environment for those dreams to be lived out, and then they become. So that's what the Pathway to Success initiative is. It is helping students matriculate through the barriers that would stop them from succeeding if a P2SI Leadership Academy, a BGSF partner with us, is not in place. Some of these students will become college dropouts, and we do not want that to happen. Our vision is simple, and we're proud about this being Black History Month, to say this to our guests. We're cultivating future leaders in the African-American community to positively impact their community and the world. We know that it starts in Nashville, but our students don't stay in Nashville. Some of them, like me, go to Greensboro, go wherever, but we're cultivating that seed of success, that seed of giving back in these young, bright students who all they need is a support system like us through the academy. And then they go on and they take that seed, and like any seed, it just flourishes. So wherever they go, what we planted in them, they'll live and be successful and be the future Martin Luther Kings, the John Lewises, and the future Darrell Freemans in the IT world, and do great things.
Wow, very powerful words there. And you mentioned a dear friend of ours, Darrell Freeman, and it's a little ironic that you and I first met face to face for the first time at his services last summer.
Wow.
And I'll never forget when I met you. The first thing that came to mind when we started talking for a few minutes, I said, "Of course, Darrell knows this guy. I mean, look, you know, here's Demetrius. Here's a guy of passion, of commitment, of trying to pay it forward, trying to be a leader in the community and be a representative of the community." And so, you know, for those listening, Darrell started off as an acquisition we did when we purchased Zycron here at BGSF back in several years ago, 6-7 years ago now. Then we became business partners, and then we ended as friends. Darrell and I were good friends, and so we are certainly committed. I am certainly committed to keep a lot of his legacy, the things he believed in, the organizations he was committed to, the people like you, the groups like yours, We want to keep that light burning. And I think for the listeners, it'd be good just to understand, what was your connection to Daryl? How'd you get to know Daryl? How'd you get involved with him? Because that's led to great relationships with people like you and I and others that he played connections with. But maybe just chat about him again in reverence of Black History Month. Daryl is someone that I keep in my mind all the time, but especially now during these times.
Yes, indeed. I mean, just being a Black student in IT young and hearing about his story, I heard about Daryl and had the privilege to work for Zycron. So it was rewarding for me to
You're an
not.
alumni back in the day.
I'm an alumni. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So Daryl was a boss for me, a mentor. You know, he every time we crossed paths, he always shared a nugget, and he would always say, "Demetrius, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough." Just an inspirational voice for me to see someone reach the level of success that he reached as a Black man. We shared the same thing. I heard, you know, his talk about how he had a 1.7 in college. And I'm going, oh, wow. You know, and I saw those tears come down his face. He said, teachers, don't give up. Don't give up. And wow, where would me and Daryl be if teachers gave up on us? I think we both had mentors that just pulled us and helped pull us up by our bootstraps. And that's where we are today. So from an employee point, perspective, and just from the time that he spent with me to help, we became mutual friends and worked with him. And then we reconnected on the philanthropic end through my nonprofit, where we do a program called Black Men Run, Brown Boys Read. Of course, Daryl being a 10-time Ironman, I'm aspiring to do an Ironman. He's in the big leagues, but to swim a couple miles, get out of the water and jump on a bike and bike 150 miles and get off that bike and run a full marathon. That's what Daryl has seeded into me, and that's what we give back to these little Black and brown boys through literacy. It is to help them become Iron Men, not in a race, but in life. And Daryl came over every year and spoke to these young men and looked them in their eyes and told them, you can be all that you can be. And so from an employee to his philanthropic efforts of giving back and supporting Transformation Life Center, supporting us, and his untimely death, you know, and meeting you there, and you and I in that lobby saying, we've got to keep his legacy alive. It affords me great honor to be here with you today to see us exactly doing what we committed to do.
Yeah, he used to always ask us, what are you going to do about it? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can talk about issues and problems and challenges, and that's fine, you should, but what are you going to do about it? And so the actions are the key there. Let me ask you, the things that you are involved with in the community, these various initiatives that we're talking about here today, how do you believe they are really impacting underdeserved communities? I mean, when you look at the people that you're reaching out to, the people that come up to you at these events, where are you seeing the ROI? How are you seeing the ROI?
Yes, indeed. I mean, and my wife, she said it from day one. She said, Demetrius, we want to roll our sleeves up and do the hard work. We want to partner in the communities that need us the most. And that, a lot of people run away from that because you're dealing with what I call layers. When you look at boys who show up for Brown Boys Read and are excited to meet Mr. Freeman and all the speakers that we put in front of them, and you look down at their feet and there's no shoestrings, there's mold growing on their shoes. And when a little boy in 5th grade opens a book and can't spell the word "the," it tells you that we need to partner in the communities that are underserved because they don't have the libraries, they don't have access to the great schools. Eric, they don't even have access to good food. They're eating out of Dollar General. They're eating all the GMO. So it's our job to get in the community that needs us the most. And those are those zip codes that are deemed underserved, low income. I had a father and a mother in my home, but a lot of these kids don't have it. They don't have the environment conducive to success. And while it's easy to tell them, I can't believe he did that, or they robbed the bank, when all you hear is negativity, when all you see is poverty. When we brought the boys out to the race 2 years ago, 25 boys sitting there going crazy because they saw a deer, and we're going, hey guys, the race get ready to start. Calm down. And you've seen a deer before? And they looked me in the eyes and said, Mr. Short, we've never seen a deer. Just took them from their environment into Shelby Park, green grass, and they were exposed to a lot more than what they see. So we are reaching into the neighborhoods in Nashville and clearing the way for them to embark on their own personal journey to success. And we're not giving handouts. We're telling them, like I did, that if you keep working hard, this struggle is going to lead to something successful in your life. And all we ask for them to do is to reach back. So we need to partner more and spend more money in the areas that are calling out for us the most. And that's why we choose to target and focus our efforts on the underserved communities, because there's layers and there are barriers that would deter these beautiful young people from being successful. And we're committed to not let that happen.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. When you look into the future, what's the vision that you have of Transformation Life Center, and what are some things that you're excited about maybe in the future that you've got on plans?
Well, I tell you, the 13 years of this nonprofit organization, the 20 plus years of me surrendering to this purpose and call on my life that's attached to, keeping individuals like Mr. Freeman's legacy alive. It's for us to do more. One of his last words to me was, Demetrius, you do understand that your Brown Boys Read program, while great it is, but boys and men at Nashville State, Black men at Nashville State, only 6% are graduating. We're not doing enough. We need to expand. So our goal through this partnership and what we feel BGSF is going to help us do now that we're ready to expand. Our programs are in demand. Every week we're getting a call from a school. Demetrius, can you bring Brown Boys Read to our school? We're reaching now, and through your partnership with us, we're expanding into Nashville State. We're now going from an HBCU. You're helping us go to Nashville State. We don't want to stop there. We want the Pathway to Success Initiative Leadership Academy on every campus in Nashville to help take and cultivate the brightest minds in the African American community to be future Dale Freemans, to be future John Lewises, and do amazing things in our community. So what we're going to do, our vision is growth. It's scaling what we know works. All of our partner schools are asking us to do more. And we're ready now to saddle up and expand these programs into multiple campuses. And ultimately, Eric, we feel that these programs, this academy, is going to be a global initiative that's going to go around the world and help cultivate these amazing college students. So we see growth. It's time for us to grow, and we believe through a partnership with you and BGSF coming in and being part of the cultivation experience. Remember, cultivation is never easy, right? It's a process.
Yeah.
Fish come out the water, they're kicking and screaming, I don't like this. And that's how some of our students who are green are. But through your belief in us and the partnerships and initiatives that we're partnering on, we believe that we're going to take students from being green and young to having a thriving career in IT and break out their families out of those underserved communities through the salaries and through the lives that IT and healthcare can provide for them. And all we do is ask them to pay it forward and reach back and do more in the community to help the next man up.
And look, man, we are proud to work with you on these things. I mean, we want to keep playing a role as that conduit to get communication going, whether it's through you guys in Nashville State or the Chamber or Blacks in Technology and the other groups that we're involved with on this philanthropic road. It's important. And you're right, we got to go back to the younger generation and make sure we're starting at an earlier age. And really, we came to you today because it is Black History Month, and we wanted to make sure that we got some exposure to the great things you're doing and get the word out there so people can understand how they can come help and how they can join and how they can participate. And so that was, I thought of you as soon as we put this idea together. You were the first person I thought of. But I think maybe just to close out, I want to throw a question at you because it is Black History Month. What does that mean to you, both as a person and as a leader of this philanthropic effort? what does it mean when you think Black History Month and we go into February and you start seeing some of the, whether it's advertisement, media, commercials, write-ups, documentaries, all the great knowledge that's out there. What does it mean to Demetrius for this month?
Well, I mean, this month is what I call a wake-up call for the world to experience what I experience every day. I call it 365 Black, and that's what we aim to do for our students. And we challenge everyone who's listening and our partners and just the world with the platform that I have today, that after 28 days of February, when I wake up March 1st, I'm still a Black man. We cannot get rid of this color, this beautiful life that we've been given. Have there been challenges? Yes. Are there still challenges today? Yes. Are there still barriers just because of the color of our skin? Yes. And we're working on that. We can't relish on the past. We have to be present today. But Martin Luther King, one of my favorite quotes is, he says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." And what matters to us, while I love all people, I believe I'm called into the communities where some of these boys don't feel excited about being Black. Some of them are not having exposure to things, and we have to allow them, number one, to be proud about who they are, never change. And so we're looking for partners and we're looking for stakeholders who are not asking us to change, but to celebrate this great month that the world celebrates, but realize that the work continues past February and March and April. It is a 24-hour-a-day struggle. It is a year-long thing, and we want and look for and aim to allow students to express their Blackness and be proud about who they are. Everyone ought to feel hope, whatever color they are, about this great country that we live in, about the beautiful aspirations and dreams. We don't want to be dream killers. We just want our Black and brown community to have the same dreams and live out those dreams as everyone else. I think that's what this great country is about. And Black History Month from us is a commercial for the world to really listen and learn from individuals who want to bring that message, and look for partners who can say, hey, you know what? Things may not have been fair for our culture and our race, and we're not looking for handouts. We're looking for partners and allies to help us. And I'm standing and sitting in front of one today. And so we know that you've been going to rally other supporters and who feel the same way about us, about not just about the month, but just about all people being treated equal and having the opportunity to live the American dream.
You bet, man. You got an ally over here. You better believe it.
Yes, sir.
Congrats on your success. Thank you for your inspiration. We'll have some contact details if people want to learn more. Your contact details, mine as well. I would encourage anybody that wants to be involved with this. This is a powerful, powerful group. And we're extending some hands and we're trying to help folks, but we need more help. We need more in the business community. We need more in the IT community, selfishly, where you and I grew up. And I think it's out there. I think people, once they hear this message, will want to be involved. So thank you, Demetrius, for your time. And if anyone has any other questions, please reach out. And God bless. Be safe out there, man.
God bless. Thank you.